Hey guys, this is Chris Aniello, the host of No Holding Back, and today we'll be talking about something that everyone cannot stop talking about, and that is the Schneider Cut. Finally, after 2 years of battling so hard, we finally got it done, guys. Congrats to all the diehard fans who believe in this. Thank you to all the actors: Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, uh, Jason Momoa, and so on. Wow, I can't believe that the fans actually won. And honestly, man, I hope this can continue in future installments when it comes to movies getting re-released and the original cut was scrapped and replaced with another like actor, and something like Suicide Squad would actually be an interesting idea to see the original cut, and maybe Jared Leto's Joker might get some justice. And I don't know, to be honest, but today we have a special guest, my longtime friend Costa Genakakis, and honestly, he's been one of those fans that have been dying for this announcement. And yes, we have him on the podcast to talk about ideas, uh, basically theories of what might happen and what we could expect to see in this Schneider cut. So Costa, the floor is all yours, man. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. So, what was your first, your initial thought when you heard that the release of the Schneider cut was actually a thing?
Dude, I freaked out when it got announced. Like I heard the day before that there was rumors, like you saw like all over Instagram and Twitter, that there were rumors about AT&T giving Snyder the possibility of giving his Justice League, his movie, and going on HBO Max. And then the day after it got announced, and it was just number one trending on Twitter. And I could not have been more happy because for the past 2.5 years, almost 3 years actually, I've been a big advocate about the Snyder cut and how the theatrical cut of Justice League is not what it's supposed to be. So yeah, I'm happy as a fan, and it gives us a lot of opportunities and for future installments in movies for the DCU.
And do you think? I mean, according to rumors, it's not official yet if it's going to be a mini series or a movie, because with all the footage they have, apparently they might be adding some. They might be shooting some new footage, and the things that were already shown to us, they might actually change it up. I was reading something, and Zack Snyder and his wife are both collaborators on the movie, and I heard that they might need to change their view a little bit when it comes to certain scenes that they already shown us because of the budget, which is 20 million to $30 million. So I'm not too sure what's gonna happen there. If I'm pretty sure, characters that they announced that were supposed to make an appearance, like uh not Darkseid, Doomsday. No, no, sorry, Doomsday was in
Not Doomsday. Well, Darkseid was supposed to be
Darkseid.
in it.
Yes, yeah,
Also, the
Darkseid.
Atom
Yes,
had
him
a
too,
pivotal role. He's there with Victor's father, Silas Stone, in Star Labs, and also Hal Jordan.
and Martian the Manhunter as well.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I was very excited when I heard about that
Was
he had actually an
but
appearance
but I've heard that he actually made an appearance and he was disguised as a human
as
on one of the past
yeah.
films. I don't know which
He was
one it
actually
was.
he was actually disguised as Martha Kent, Superman's mother. And you remember that scene in the theatrical cut where Lois and Martha are talking, they're having a coffee, and she talks about like this certain article that Lois should have done, but a certain other reporter did.
Yeah.
That scene was entirely reshot from the information that I've heard, and that scene was supposed to be placed early on in the movie, maybe like close between like the 30-minute mark. And as Martha leaves the room, he turns into Martian Manhunter, and which is General Swaznik from Man of Steel and Batman v Superman.
I think didn't he make an appearance in the Suicide Squad with Amanda Waller too?
Uh, no, I don't think it was him. I think it was a certain other actor.
Yeah.
They share similarities within their looks, but it's not him.
Like, honestly, at first, I'll be honest with you, I was just like, when I heard about like the first time people started posting hashtag release the Schneider cut 2 years ago, I was like, you know
Hmm.
what, man, his vision was crap, man. Killing off Robin, which was later confirmed that it was gonna be Dick Grayson, and you're gonna have
Yeah,
Carrie
understandable.
Kelly instead.
Hmm.
I wasn't too fond about that. But you know what, man? Sometimes you gotta. Everyone has their own views, and you gotta make a sacrifice. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into what we're probably gonna see in the movie in the next couple of minutes, but
Hmm.
sometimes I like you gotta realize that you gotta sacrifice something in order to demonstrate like other things that you want to get done. It's part of the
Yeah.
story arc. And
Hmm.
Batman's a very dark character, so killing off his first sidekick really must have traumatized him, and that's why he's so dark and he's always pissed
Yeah.
off and stuff against Superman and Batman versus Superman. And what I've heard actually is that he wasn't going to be too thrilled about the resurrection of Superman, but he knew
Hmm.
that was the right thing to get done, to
Yeah.
bring him back, because he was like the only thing that was going to stop uh
And to
Steppenwolf.
save the
But
world. Yeah.
yeah, Steppenwolf, but originally was supposed to be Darkseid. Darkseid was the
Hmm.
main bad guy that was pulling the strings, and what I heard is that Steppenwolf
Exactly.
actually, it's like the Starscream and Megatron dynamic, basically.
I
Steppenwolf
like that reference.
is like the second in command, but like he's
Yeah.
tired of being the bitch. He wants to be his own thing, so he goes back to Earth to
To
retrieve
collect
the
the mother
mother
box.
boxes. And Darkseid is pissed off about that, and he thinks that at the same time, like, is he on my side or is he just doing his own thing? So
Yeah, he contemplates on his right hand man.
yeah, so like
So
he doesn't like know like what his plan is. He thinks that he's trying to do like a service for him, but in
yeah,
reality, he's just trying to do it for his own self benefit. So
exactly, taking advantage. And back to the question that you had asked about whether it was going to be a miniseries or the full 214 minutes. From what I heard, well, also there was an interview with Jason Momoa that he had stated that the original plan for Justice League 1 and Justice League 2, that they were going to shoot that back to back. So Momoa had mentioned that, and then they got scrapped with only just shooting one Justice League. But Momoa said that they had enough footage to make two movies out of it. So there is a possibility of making it a 6-part miniseries of, like, the total length being of like 4 hours long. So it'll be like around like 45 minutes an episode, give or take.
but
And
that's what I heard as well. Like they filmed the majority of the first film and they filmed
yeah.
half of the second. But
Mhm.
the good thing about it is that what I heard the rumors is that Zack Snyder might get a chance to consume, if it's a miniseries, he will get a chance to consume all three movies into one and make it a
Mhm.
miniseries. So he's gonna
Yeah.
make it maybe like 6 or 7 hours long. So instead of adding all like the unnecessary bullshit, like the just to like give the like a
Yeah.
little bit more development throughout like the movie, you're kind of gonna get straight to the point with it. So
Mhm.
um
And Snyder, like, he really likes taking his time with his storytelling. If it wasn't for Warner Brothers and their executives for going in his way, actually, they wouldn't have now rushed it. I'm not sure if you saw the differences between Batman v Superman and Batman v Superman: The Ultimate Cut. There's 30 minutes of extra footage that plays a huge role, especially with Lex Luthor's plan and how he manipulates. Like, you see him as the actual puppet master and how he's pulling strings with the KGB and everyone like that in
Well,
that movie.
it's kind of like the same situation with Sony and Sam Raimi. I feel
Yeah,
like creative minds like Sam Raimi and Zack Snyder that have a different way of
they
telling
they
a
want
story.
100% control for
Yeah,
their free in their directing. They have a
and they should give it to them. Especially
yeah,
now that DC is kind of picking pace a little bit. It's picking
yeah,
up its pace,
exactly.
and they're still very far behind from Marvel.
Oh
And
yeah,
and they
But
need to catch up soon. This is the time to catch up. Right
yeah,
now, Marvel's Phase 4 literally looks like scrap. There's probably
I,
one or two movies that are interesting, and people are more focused on the television series and the movies. That's when you know it's a problem, and that's when you know that it's DC's time to pick
to
it up
shine.
and have the advantage. If they
Yeah,
don't do it now, then they'll never get another chance to do it again. They're finished.
exactly. And especially within the next 2 to 3 years, their slate is going to be remarkable, especially with 2021. We get, as fans, as DC fans, even just comic book readers in general, we get two Batman back to back. At the beginning of the year, we get the final, hopefully, the final movie for Ben Affleck as Batman. You see him last in Snyder Cut. And then towards the end of the year, if the scheduling does go good, you get to see uh, a rise of a new incarnation of Batman, which is Robert Pattinson. And I'm really stoked for his movie.
Do you think that if all the original characters from the Snyderverse come back and
Mm-hmm.
finish this movie or complete it in a miniseries and are able to tell the whole story from Justice League 1 to 3, do you think that it might fuck up people's point of view of Pattinson?
You already see that now. You see, people boycotting.
But
Ben
will it be
Affleck.
worse though? Can
No,
Ben
I
Affleck
don't
literally
think
put
so
the
because
dagger in his heart?
I really do think that Pattinson will be the best out of all three of them between Affleck and Bale, and of course himself. And it's just, yeah, I really think he's gonna knock it out of the park, and he's gonna change the opinions of a lot of people's.
Well, I hope
Or,
so, but like at the same time, I just want to see like if Zack Snyder is able to get his story across and just do the mini series and complete it, and
Mhm.
we're at peace with the story. There's a conclusion. Then I think you know what. Thank God he got his chance.
Yeah,
Honestly, I'll be so happy because we finally get to have a beginning, a middle, and an end to
and
something that he wanted to do. Maybe it's not under the circumstances that he wished that it would have
especially with
happened.
is he wanted to do the five movie arc of Superman, which originally when I heard this maybe 2 years ago, what I thought the original five plan movie was, it was going to be Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, Justice League 1, Justice League 2, and Man of Steel 2. But it's not the case. It's not Man of Steel 2. It was actually going to be Justice League 3. And it was just going to wrap up this whole story arc of, time travel and remember the nightmare sequences in Batman v Superman. It was going to
Well, there
take,
was a lot more filmed for both movies. I
yeah,
heard the first and second,
you see,
and they were already shot, and they might
yeah,
even include more now.
you see, there's certain things, certain precautions that they should take and they shouldn't do. Like, have you ever seen the original design of how Steppenwolf was supposed to look like?
He was more menacing. Like
More
he didn't look
menacing,
like a pure
looking,
like vagina person.
exactly.
He
See,
looked like
even though
shit.
I don't mind the look of how he looked in the theatrical cut. It could have been much better, but instead of investing more money on redesigning the character, leave his design as is and use that 30 to 40 million dollars on adding additional footage and fixing unfinished CGI that Snyder had originally that he directed himself. So
You know,
I don't think that they should redesign Steppenwolf because it would just take too much time and money. They should just get to the point.
well,
And
they already have the
yeah,
original footage of how he used to look. So just
those
keep it at that.
those are very rendered. So I really I don't know how it's gonna work, but I'm excited. Even though if it's his theatrical design, I'm still excited to see just the whole movie in general.
Well, to be honest with you, Snyder is changing some stuff because he doesn't want to make
Oh
the movie too predictable. Not that he like he only the only reason why he showed us the pictures and the footage of and incomplete costume designs and stuff is
yeah.
because to get us hyped, to maybe give
Exactly.
us a chance to fight
And also
back.
to
And
point the middle finger at Warner Brothers. It's like look how excited they are looking at just a footage when they had trust in me, even though you didn't have trust in me. So it's like,
I wish we could like go back in time to literally like
yeah,
2010 and we're on the set of Spider-Man 4, and
And
before they axed it, and they said, you know what, man, Sam Raimi, do your thing. We
yeah,
can't promise you a fifth film, but here's a fourth film. The third
yeah,
movie, the third Spider-Man movie, made the most money domestically. So I don't know
yeah,
what their complaint was. It was just the fans that just had a problem with it. And if he would have had made the fourth one, he would have had his way with it, and he would have
exactly.
gave justice to the fans. And I wish we would have got that movie in 2011 because that
Oh
was the
man, that was,
initial release date.
yeah,
But it just shows that like how uh, corporations sometimes they want a certain
exactly.
vision. But if you want that vision, hire the right guy. Hire the guy
Hmm.
you want.
You
Don't
see, sometimes
give a
I
guy
think
don't give a guy power that you already know he's gonna take advantage of and basically
yeah,
make his own story, and you're like, wait, we didn't agree about that. Like, you can't just do that, like they were just butting heads the whole time, and the whole
yeah,
cast, and this is something you've never seen before. Okay, the whole cast sided with the director over
exactly.
the company. And you know what's funny? Well, I would say three and a half of them are still like in the mix because the Flash,
Who would you
Ezra
be? 3.5.
Miller.
I mean, Ezra Miller doesn't have Instagram, nor does he have Twitter, so I can't really um state his opinion. But I think I've heard an interview when he was doing Fantastic Beasts that he was being an
He's gonna
advocate
come
about it.
back.
Oh, 100%,
You have Ezra.
100%. All of
You have
them were.
Ezra Miller that's still there. You have Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Gal
Yeah,
Gadot.
Gal
I can't
Gadot.
pronounce
Yeah,
Gadot, whatever how you pronounce her name. And honestly, to be honest with you, I think after The Witcher and Mission Impossible, I think Warner Brothers realized that Henry Cavill is a
it's such
really
a
respected actor and he's very good.
exactly.
And maybe they were looking at other actors to replace him for a reboot, but I think they just realized he is the guy. There's no point.
Exactly. He is
Let's just keep.
Superman. You can't. He is the Man of Steel. You look at Henry Cavill. You see him in the beautiful suit, and you just look at him and you go, "That's my Superman."
He's a
And
fantastic actor. Like that guy could do
amazing.
anything. And it's rare that like usually people who
And he's
portray
committed.
Superman, yeah, people who portray Superman usually just are known as Superman. But this guy is known as the Witcher, okay, from the Witcher series
Yeah.
on Netflix. He's known as the bad guy with the mustache in Mission Impossible. Totally forgot his
That
name.
damn
And
mustache man ruined us back in 2017. I'm telling
yeah,
you.
he makes an impact in every movie he is. He's just so talented. He's just not
Yeah.
subjected to just one character. There's so much going
Exactly.
on for him, and I just feel that he will get his Man of Steel too, because literally he is the
Oh
guy.
yeah.
He is the guy, and that it's just that simple. And honestly, this is how I think the outline of what's gonna happen. Okay, so
Mhm.
the Snyder cut is gonna be turned into a mini series. They're gonna consume all three movies that they wanted to into one. Okay.
Yeah.
So so this is how it's gonna be basically. So you have the first movie, which basically it's the team getting together. Batman and Wonder Woman are recruiting the team.
Yeah.
There's gonna be an extended scenes between Aquaman and Batman. Same thing with the Flash and Batman.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman is gonna have a
Her
chance
connection with
to
the cyborg.
Cyborg. There's gonna be you're gonna have more of a deeper connection and
Yep.
feel for Cyborg's character, because literally, poor guy, man, really good actor, got shat on by fans because you're like, oh, he's such a robot. I mean, technically he was playing a robot,
Yeah.
but like there was no story development. There was just a flashback scene. It was
Yeah.
so like,
What's
oh
nice
man, I felt so
that
bad for him.
that I forget his name. Um, what's the actor's name? I'm blanking right now. But the guy who plays
Something
Cyborg.
Fisher. I don't remember his first
Yeah.
name.
When the guy that plays Cyborg, Snyder has said himself that he is the heart of the movie. He's gotten so much tremendous loss, and I'm not sure if you heard about this, but from what I heard, because I'd spoken to like a few people who actually know people in the industry, and
Okay.
and I found out that um, what's his face, Silas Stone was actually gonna die.
The
And
father?
the father, he was gonna die, and it played a huge impact on his thing, because just a few months before that, he lost his mother, and then he's turned into this half man, half machine, and there's so much complexity
And
within
he
it,
blames himself, obviously, because
and
he's
he
the one
blames
that
himself.
threw the chemicals that
Exactly.
exploded.
But as you see in the theatrical cut, Cyril Stone's alive, and you see how it all plays out. A
But
question I want to ask is,
yeah.
let's say the success of the Snyder Cut, which I, without a doubt, I know it's going to be a success. There's no way it's going to go.
Well, you can't really get worse than what we got, right? You
Yeah,
just get
exactly.
better.
And do you think that with the success of the Snyder Cut, the potential success, should I say, that they will change their canon to the Snyder's movie, or just keep it to the theatrical cut?
I think they're gonna make it. Maybe they might not make it canon, but I think fans are gonna be like, whatever came out in 2017 is a pile of shit, and whatever came out on HBO Max, that, in my opinion, is the true Justice League. And what's gonna happen is, like I was saying before, so after the team gets together, they talk. We're not strong enough to face Steppenwolf and Darkseid. We need Superman. Let's resurrect him. Batman's not too crazy about it, but he gives in. Whatever. Throughout the course of the movie, Steppenwolf is trying to get the mother boxes. Shit's going down with the parademons. Superman gets resurrected, but for the majority of the movie, he's in black.
Yeah.
So which we haven't seen because he literally came back in his original suit, which is not how it is in the comics.
I know.
And
disappointed.
then after, obviously, I don't know, like, whatever. Anyways, just glad we're gonna see that in the movie. And then once that's done, we're gonna see Martian the Manhunter introduced, maybe a cameo from one of the Green Lanterns, and then once they, sorry.
The original Adam, actually. Yeah,
the Atom too. And then once that's done, the rumor is that Cyborg is the one who kills Steppenwolf in Zack Snyder's original cut.
You see, I heard different. I heard it's Wonder Woman, and the reason it's Wonder Woman is because a couple months ago, Snyder had posted on his Vero account, saying that I used gods, I killed gods. So what are the who are the gods within the Justice League? It's not Batman, it's not Flash, it's not Cyborg. It could be Superman, but Superman won't kill because of who his character is. So it's between Aquaman and Wonder Woman. And I think the reason I think it's Wonder Woman is because throughout the movie, even you see it in the theatrical cut, but Steppenwolf taunts Wonder Woman saying, I still have the blood of your sisters on my sword and everything like that. And at the end of the movie, they all you see that kind of teamwork where they knock him into that character, bang, and to another one, and then Wonder Woman just literally cuts his head off, from what I heard. Clean off.
I heard differently, actually. I heard she uses
and then a
lasso
up, and then you see Darkseid with either the red eyes sitting on the throne or whatever. And then
I heard differently, actually. I heard that Wonder Woman uses her lasso to hold them down, and then Cyborg uses his upgrade, so basically his gun, and just blasts him and kills him. That's what I heard. And I'm pretty sure maybe because Steppenwolf has something to do with the death of his dad. And
that's true.
But to be honest, all I heard is that there's going to be more love and development towards Cyborg and the Flash, because if you watch the cut that was released in 2017, literally those two guys are like the biggest fucking phonies. They act like children. They act like they were just introduced from the Teen Titans, and they just graduated
up with the
the Justice League. You know what I mean? And that's so and honestly, Flash, I think in that version of the movie was so hated. He was so annoying. He was so he wanted to slap his face.
But honestly, with the release of the Snyder Cut coming hopefully May 27th, that it's gonna start a chain reaction of
2021, right?
Yeah, 2021 of May 27. May 27th.
Okay.
It's gonna start future developments in DC slates. And so it's gonna regain the trust of the fans and also Warner Brothers themselves where okay, they're gonna fully commit to the Flash movie. Maybe bring Cyborg into a movie, or maybe do his own thing, or tease him in the Flash movie, and then
Well,
100% they're gonna do Man of Steel 2 because everyone wants that. I'm
well,
pretty sure people want Man of Steel 2 more than they want the Snyder cut, and if we can get both, that could be the best
well.
option
That's
ever had.
I think that's in the cards now. Like I was saying, like Henry Cavill, I think at this point is irreplaceable. And once they see like what he's able to do in that movie or that miniseries, I think he's gonna get his second movie. I mean, he deserves it, to be honest. And
100% deserves it.
so like going back to what I was saying, just to add to the conclusion of what was gonna happen in the first movie. So Steppenwolf is dead, but before that, I think Doomsday finds out
Darkseid.
eventually. Yeah, sorry, Darkseid. I always get mixed up with them. Two D's. Darkseid finds that Steppenwolf has betrayed him, so he uses the resurrection of Superman to manipulate him and use him as his second in command, which he obviously
Ooh,
snaps out of it and
yeah.
whatever. Now moving to the second movie that was filmed. So there's obviously more flashbacks to like
Yeah,
Man of Steel and stuff, and more
also a
nightmare
lot of
sequences.
exactly, the number sequences.
And I don't know if you watched Apocalypse War, which I
I
think you did.
100%, the release I did the moment it came out, I loved it. It was a very good movie, and you can see certain similarities with the original three-part Justice League movie.
Yeah,
How
they took apparently they the scrapped idea from Snyder was
yeah,
heavily influenced in this movie because
except
they said, you know what, it's
they
never going to
switch
be
characters.
introduced. Sorry.
Instead of they switch certain characters with, especially with Batman and Superman. How in Justice League War, not Justice League War, but Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, um, Superman is he's helping out to just to take down Darkseid, and Batman's kind of an evil god. He helps out Darkseid. The roles are switched within the three-part Snyder Justice League movies, where
Uh, and
Superman's
it's
actually
actually
helping out Darkseid, and Batman is the one who
comes up with the
tries to take
plan.
him down. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's the one that comes up with the plan. Apparently, they take the war to Apocalypse. Uh,
Hmm.
Half the team dies. Superman's
Yeah.
tortured, so that's still like in it. When Superman is freed, he comes back. Lois Lane, his mom, Metropolis, Gotham, everything they know is destroyed.
Yeah.
Jim Gordon is dead. Alfred is dead. Any side characters are basically dead. Apparently, I heard it's the Flash,
You
Batman,
see,
and a
Cyborg.
dismantled Cyborg that
Yeah, those are
survives.
the three people who survived. Because also in the Snyder Cut, the from what I heard, that there is time travel. You see time travel in the movie. How Flash goes back in time because there's a big explosion, and he
Well,
just
that
kind of
happens in
resets
the third
the
movie. I'm
past.
pretty
Like
sure.
no, but you actually see it in the Just League movie. It was supposed to happen actually. You kind of see it in the trailer, but they changed the scene way too much. You see Flash in the Speed Force, and he's running, and
Yeah,
there
but
was a big explosion, and he just resets it. Just maybe for like he goes back in time. I think maybe 10 minutes, and then that's it. So and then
like
he tells them how to take them down properly.
everything, every little detail or
Detail.
scene that makes no sense, and people are like, "What the fuck is happening there? Like, what the fuck is he
Those are
doing
a lot
there?"
of plot
You
holes
know?
that Joss Whedon sadly just screwed up. And he's a good director. He did good work with the Avengers and also Age of Ultron. I'm not the big fan of Age of Ultron, but it's still an okay
A
movie.
watchable movie. It's entertaining.
Yeah, and you see similarities between Justice League and Age of Ultron. Example one, where remember in Age of Ultron, where it's at the very beginning of the movie, where Ultron kind of like fights a team in the Avengers Tower, and Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, um, like lands on Scarlett Johansson's breast,
Yeah.
and you see that also in Justice League with Ezra Miller's character and Gal Gadot, where
Too
he's running.
many raunchy jokes that should have been excluded.
Exactly.
But going
Exactly.
back to like I was saying before, so about that second movie and the third one, which was going to conclude the whole Snyder saga,
Yeah.
um, those scenes would have made more sense because in those scenes you would see the Flash trying
Hmm.
to reach out to Batman and other characters from the Justice League and warn them about
Yep.
the events, but he wouldn't have that much power to go fully in. So that's why you only saw him for a certain amount of time, because that's how long
Yeah.
he was able to keep up. And then he was shot back into his own reality. So
Exactly.
all I know is that at the end of the second movie, the second Justice League, Superman, in a fashion we've never seen him, literally tears
Every
Darkseid in pieces
part.
and
Yeah.
shreds and kills him. And guess what happens? If you ever
Batman died.
read the Injustice comic books, Justice League 3 is basically Injustice.
Oh yeah,
And
100%.
yeah,
It's also
so
a small part of it also in Just League 2.
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
the supposed
There's some stuff
rumor
that
about
are
it.
incorporated in there too. Um,
Yeah.
but I
I'm just
think
honestly, it's good.
I'm not
It's
sure
good.
actually if he dies in the second one, Darkseid, or if he
Batman?
dies in the
Oh,
third one.
oh, Darkseid dies in the third one.
He dies in the third one. Okay, but I
Yeah.
know Superman kills him. That's all I
No,
know. Like,
it's actually Batman that kills him. He sacrificed himself to save Lois because Lois is pregnant, and yeah, and then after that, when she gives birth, they name instead of Jonathan Kent, you know how it
oh
is in
wait,
comics,
wait.
they
Sorry,
name
my
it
bad,
Bruce Kent, and it's
my bad. Okay,
yeah,
wait. Let me go
it's a
back.
good
Okay,
arc.
Darkseid dies in the second one. Then the Flash goes back in time in the third
And
one, in the
yeah,
beginning of the movie, and that's when like he warns everybody, so everyone is fine. Okay, so Darkseid does die in the second one, and so he goes back into the second one, and yeah, so he goes back. So basically, to the events of like what takes place after the first movie. So it's like
yeah,
it's an alternate second movie, I
yeah.
would say,
It's
for
an
Justice
alternate
League.
reality.
Yeah. So she's still pregnant. Superman and the rest of the Justice League never go to Apocalypse. Batman gets warned by the Flash, don't come
Hmm.
up with a plan. Wait for Darkseid to come to you, to Earth. Okay, because if you go
Yep.
there, you're not going to be ready for it. So they do that instead. Um, and that's when the Superman and everything is like everything seems fine until the
Yeah.
parademons start coming. Darkseid gets starts coming down to Earth, starts causing trouble for the Justice League, and
Yep.
so on. So the original name of the baby was supposed to be Jonathan Kent, named after Superman's adopted
Father.
father.
Yeah.
And once
They changed it
Apocalypse
to Bruce.
finds, not Apocalypse, sorry, my bad. Darkseid finds Lois hiding in
Lois.
the Batcave. Batman basically is that you see like a little bit of
Yeah.
like a race between them, who's gonna get there first. Batman gets there first, or maybe at the same time around the same time as Darkseid.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Superman gets there as well. But it's too late because Batman basically sacrifices himself to save Lois. Superman is fucking
Pissed.
pissed off.
Yep.
He sees Bruce's fucking corpse deteriorated, and he fucking loses it. He kills
Yeah.
Darkseid once again, but not because of what happened in the original second Justice League, because of his longtime friend
Hmm.
Bruce. Even though they went through all those, and that's the redemption part of the arc, because Batman realizes
He needs Superman.
besides Alfred and Jim, who do I have left? All my family is dead. My sidekick is dead. I have no reason to live anymore. I've completed my service to Gotham, to the world.
For
This is
especially
my
like
gift
20
to you.
years. You know, he was Batman for 20
Yeah,
years.
like, and he knows the world needs Superman more than they need
Yeah.
Batman. So he comes up with a cautious idea to do that, and that basically ends it. And maybe what was gonna happen, which they could do still, is if the Ezra Miller still gets his Flash
Hmm.
movie. It's simple. Just create
Yeah.
Flashpoint, and that's how you introduce Pattinson. So not only do you have a conclusion to Zack Snyder's
Movies.
uh, movie franchise, okay, you have the beginning of a new
Yeah.
start. So everyone's happy, and Warner Brothers, they look like geniuses after, because they listen to the fans. There's a completion of Zack Snyder's version, so he's happy. His wife is happy. The fans are
Yeah.
happy, and not only that, it makes more sense to introduce Pattinson in the whole like
instead of
alternate like Gotham. Why it looks like more gothic and it's not like city based like it wasn't with Affleck. And the only difference is that you have Pattinson as the new Batman.
it's changes
Cavill is
of the
still there. The
timeline,
rest of Justice League is still
it's a whole
there.
new thing. And
yeah, and maybe if they feel like the Hal Jordan that they originally chose is not good enough, they could get a better Hal Jordan.
Do you know who they casted?
I heard it was Armie Hammer.
No, it's not. I don't know if you want to search this up. It's actually an actor. He's a British actor called Sam Benjamin.
Yeah,
and
is he yeah, I guess he's an unknown actor.
Yeah, right? But you look at this guy, and he's wearing like that, that Hal Jordan like pilot jacket, with like the white fur type of thing like that. And you look at that picture, and you're like, that's Hal Jordan. And apparently, it's him.
So they chose an unknown actor, basically. So you have half the cast that are basically known actors that are already established, and like the rest of the cast are up and coming actors making it into the business. So I kind of understand that, I mean, maybe it's something with a budgeting situation as well. You don't need the best actors, man. You don't need the biggest names. Sometimes if you have a good enough like core, you could surround them with like less known actors.
And they support off each other, It's like, okay, they have good chemistry. That character has good chemistry. It's all about the connections within the actors themselves, and if they support each other. But I've actually I just want to finish this because I've had this good idea of, okay, Snyder's like, let's say HBO does just the Justice League 1, they do the 214 minutes of the Snyder Cut. That's all. Okay, and they don't accomplish the Justice League 2 and Justice League 3 Snyder's vision. What they could do, and a vision I've actually just came up with in my head, is that, okay, you have that, and also at the end of the movie, you see, Lex Luthor and Deathstroke they're creating their own league, and which is the Injustice League, So,
but that's not originally part of Zack
No,
Snyder's,
it is. That's the thing.
Idea. It is.
Yeah, you could tell the way it's shot and everything like that. That is Snyder's.
But wasn't there the actor of Deathstroke announced that the original credit scene was him and Batman fighting, and that was gonna be the introduction to the beginning of the new Batman.
It was
movie. But
wait, give me 1 sec. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, I don't think it is the after credit. But what I heard, because remember, in the there's a possibility. But in the movie, you see Deathstroke break out Lex Luthor out of Arkham. You see that in the movie, in the Snyder Cut movie, instead of just getting.
Well, because I know in the second Justice League, once Earth literally becomes like the nightmare visions that we see in Batman versus Superman, where like there's like a resistance. I know as a fact that
they
the
team
Suicide
up.
Squad and Deathstroke become an alliance together to take down Superman and to take down Darkseid as well, because those are two main bad guys in the movie. Superman completely lost his mind, and because Lois Lane and everyone's dead, and basically they have no choice. As much as they despise each other and try to killing each other, the villains and the rest of the heroes team up. So you have Deathstroke, Lex Luthor, Cyborg, and so on. And maybe they might even introduce new like lesser known characters like there that might like die off like quickly and stuff. And those soldiers are basically Superman's men. I think they're part of like the government or something. And so like honestly, my opinion, I think the first one's gonna be a good setup for the second one. But in my opinion, seeing the second one play out in a way that we've never seen ever, like live, okay, I think it's gonna be incredible and it's gonna be beautiful. But then again, we don't know what's happening. These are all just ideas and rumors or whatever. But the ideal version is like what we both agreed on before, is basically complete the saga. Maybe don't try to squeeze it too much and make it horrible, but put it in a way where everything makes sense. So miniseries sounds
ideal,
more ideal, exactly. conclude Snyder's view, then set up the Flashpoint, get the
Bring in
Flashpoint,
Patterson.
and then Pattinson's Batman is introduced, and
Yeah,
everything makes sense. Sometimes, honestly, sometimes the fans seem like they're more smart
exactly. But
than
sometimes the fans are
the
too demanding, and they have
distributors.
to like understand the business side of the industry, and the business side is very complicated. It's very a complex industry. That's why, like, with my vision of what they should do is that okay, you bring out Justice League One on HBO Max. It's Snyder's original, like just the first Justice League movie, and then after that you bring in the second Justice League movie you do Justice League versus the Injustice League, which we've actually never seen before in live action. Not even Marvel has done it. So if DC can actually step their game ahead and bring that out, heroes versus villains, they could beat Marvel to that title.
But that's so frustrating though, because like Snyder's view could have set up so many things, and it was going to
Yeah,
introduce so many things, and that was the way to dethrone Marvel and a lot of
and then if they
perspectives.
wanted to,
They would have had
they
things to basically compete against them, or at least to put their foot against their throat and be like, hey, we're knocking
yeah,
at your
we're coming to
door.
get you.
We just introduced things in comics that were basically one of the top selling comics in history, and we've included those elements into a
Yeah,
movie. What the fuck did you got? And then that's where Marvel has to be like, oh shit, we have Civil War, we had Infinity War, we had Endgame, but
what's
fuck,
next?
man, that's
That's why Phase
crazy,
4
man.
Marvel is
Like
not
you,
a big thing. The only two movies I'm excited for really are Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. That's it. I'm not even excited for Thor Love and Thunder, whatever it is. I'm not excited for it. It's too comedic. I don't like the child part of it. It's even though Disney is the
so
brand, I
you're
like
gonna
a serious tone of a superhero movie, and that's how Sam Raimi's Spider-Man was. Like that kind of like tone. It's not too comedic, not too serious. It's just perfect.
So this is how I think me and you view it. I think DC's ever since the Joker, and maybe like if you consider Man of Steel and Batman
Hmm.
versus Superman and Wonder Woman as good films, they're more of storytellers. They're gonna incorporate a lot of
Yeah,
elements from like the comics, but it's more of a story telling
yeah.
perspective. And then Marvel, it's not really storytelling; it's more of a fan service. Let's just dump all the shit that people
Shove it
want,
in their throats.
and let's put it into a fucking movie, and there you go. You're gonna love it, and you guys are gonna pay tickets, and then Marvel is gonna make like Disney's gonna make
Billions.
freaking $1 billion on each
Yeah,
Marvel movie that appears in every freaking year. But honestly, man, if you have good storytelling and you have comic relations incorporated in your movies, man, I think honestly you're still gonna get to 1 billion. Even new ideas like the
yeah,
Joker, that was just basically a new idea, and they just made their own thing with it. It made $1 billion, and it was a fucking serious movie,
yeah.
rated R.
Do
What
you
the
think they
hell?
should
Like
do
people would
more
have never
DC
expected
Black
that.
Label movies? And if yes, which character would you choose to like do it? It's like its own separate thing, not connected to the DCEU. It's just a movie like how it was with the Joker. Which character would you pick?
So you have the Joker. Um, I would try my way of thinking was at least try to have each big character from each
Okay.
superhero have his own. So like maybe Lex Luthor, but
Yeah.
there's nothing really great about him.
See
I
me,
mean, that he has like a great mind, but he's not a
I would
superhero. You know
choose
what I mean?
a
You
Flash
know,
villain and another Batman villain. A Flash villain, I would do Reverse Flash
Yeah,
and
Batman has so many good villains like Spider-Man that I
oh,
think like I can name 10 of them that could be their
Mr.
standalone
Freeze.
villain in a movie.
100% you can see a movie like that.
But the thing is that people want to see
Yeah,
Batman. The Joker is the greatest villain of all
exactly.
time. That's why he had a free pass. You could not take um maybe a top 20 or a top 30 or top 40
That's the
villain,
top three.
because there's so many villains out there, and make their own
Yeah,
movie about it. Like the name sells. I don't care what you say. Joker's a fantastic movie, but you know what sold tickets? The name.
yeah.
And obviously the method acting of Joaquin
Oh my
Phoenix
God.
was incredible. And I appreciate that so much. But anyways, Costa, sorry to
No,
cut it
I
short, man.
enjoyed it.
We've covered all the topics, and honestly, man, you're a great guest
Thank
to
you very
have.
much.
You're so
You're a good
knowledgeable
host.
about the Snyder Cut, and basically actually are operated,
Come true.
and we'll see what happens.
Yep.
But only time can tell, man. And that's the only thing I can say. So thank you so much, Costa Janakakis, our
No
today's
problem,
host,
man.
and we'll see
Glad
what
to be here.
happens, man, with the Snyder Cut. Thank you, and goodbye.
Yep. Perfect.